I've noticed it's become harder to sit with things that used to feel normal and mundane. And it's not because these things have become worse, but because everything around them got louder. Things like watching a full video, or reading a few pages of a book, or just being alone with your thoughts at night. All of these things feel heavier now. Not unbearable, but just slightly uncomfortable. And I don't think it's because we as people have changed necessarily, but I think the pace of everything else did. Everything is much, much quicker now. And we humans have not had the time to adapt properly. At some point, waiting stopped being normal, silence stopped being neutral, and stimulation became the default. Not all at once, but slowly, ever so slowly, and very conveniently. When everything is instantly available, your brain just adjusts to it and starts thinking that this is the norm, that this is how things are supposed to be. And instant gratification is a big problem. Effort starts to feel unnecessary, and slow rewards are not enough to stimulate us. This dopamine, instant dopamine, could be very harmful for us. The real problem isn't really the stimulation itself, it's that we've lost this tolerance for stillness. Being bored and being alone with yourself and your thoughts feels irritating. Waiting for something that might be worth waiting feels wrong. And if something doesn't grab our attention as quickly as the snap of fingers, we just move on. Not because it's bad, but because we're used to this new era of instant gratification. And that spills into everything, every single part of our daily lives: work, conversations, and even rest during our free time. We expect things to feel rewarding faster, way faster. And when they don't, we assume that something is wrong. But sometimes nothing is wrong. Sometimes it's just quiet. And maybe that's how it was meant to be to begin with. These new generations like me and the upcoming ones, we've grown up with technology all around us. So this is the norm for us. And I can see why it is very hard for people to concentrate. And this is not our fault. We've grown up into a society that's made this the norm. And there's nothing you can do about that. I don't think this makes anyone broken. And I don't think it's a personal failure per se, but it's more so the environment changing around us. And we've adapted the only way that we could. That's not weakness. That's just called being human. We adapt to what we're given. However, technology and the world around us is moving way quicker than we as a species can adapt to it. So when things feel harder to sit with, I don't think the answer is more discipline. I think it starts with noticing why stillness feels unfamiliar. Not fixing it, just noticing it, reflecting upon it, and taking time to see the world around you properly. I think the hardest part is how easily we misinterpret discomfort now. As I said before, when something feels boring, quiet, or slow, we assume it's wrong or that we are doing something wrong. And we stop trusting the process of things that don't reward us immediately, which in most instances are the things that are most rewarding. And over time, it really starts to blur the line between discomfort and failure. Not everything that feels uncomfortable is bad, and not everything that feels rewarding is meaningful. So when things feel harder to sit with, I don't think that means something is wrong with us. I think it means we're surrounded by more stimulation than we were ever meant to process in our brains. Social media, all of this digital world or whatever that we're living in today, this digital era, is way too much for our human brain to respond to. And that's why we just stick to the easy things. We stick to things that feel nice in the moment because that's how the brain is supposed to work. And I'm not going to get into this evolutionary thing or whatever, but there is a reason behind it. I don't think we're broken. I think we're just way too overstimulated.